And it's interesting to see this pistol buy as well. So Impulse has got a Molotov and a flash. So that sort of buy in my mind thinks there's some sort of read. However, we'll see how this plays out, of course. Having 2 players with grenades on the CT side obviously is quite unusual. As long as it's not 2 kits, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the crazy game.
That is the reckless round.
So it is just Max and, I believe, Pulse in this B-bomb set, of course. Max has a smoke still. So the XC's going to be coming in, smoke lands at coils. And they're just going to spam both angles. They'll play the retake, so they've still got a Molotov as well as a smoke for this retake. On the other side of things, obviously, dizLown used all of their grenades. So Max obviously lining up a retake grenade. I imagine that's just blocking off Banana. It's going to be 5 men through CT and Garden. So when you think Glocks, you think close angles where they can just take advantage of that. It's very good. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh. Thing comes back through. Pulse can be brought down to 15 HP. The frags are swarming in though. Everyone going to be connecting their shots, Ben, as they all get taken down. Endpoint will pick up that round with a very nice retake. Pulse with the 2 kills. Everyone else getting a frag apiece apart from Impulse. Look pretty clinical on the retake there.
Yeah, you can see the smoke that got used obviously was the entrance. And Thomas appears to be trying to kiss Max right there. At the end of the round.
What is Valentine's Day, Ben?
Week.
Valentine's week.
Imagine if it was an entire week.
Very sad, wouldn't it?
Be like Hanukkah.
Yeah, oh yeah. You like a different heart-shaped
rose
candle
every day.
Every day. Aww.
So the smoke towards the bottom being used by Endpoint here from the get-go. Adam smokes the top to try and counteract the take that would come through typically. Second Molotov thrown, however it's just as that top one fades. Adam and Messi taking so much damage there.
Yeah, good use of the utility there towards Pop Banana. Everyone kept in position, just not able to do too much at all. They do have the big and out of control there. It's nicely reflected actually by Pulse's utility damage as well. 215 already, Ben. Which is pretty ridiculous. There's ADR overall, but obviously a ton of that being done by the nades.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this plays out. You've got 4 Mach 10s. So 1 very good flashbang. They might be able to overwhelm AVN, who is in towards pit. So it would be just the Serbs left here. Smoke coming in. Actually deciding to go onto site there, so hopefully AVN can be blocked off. It still gets both kills. So there was such a gap between the 2 sets of players on the T side there. It was a bit unusual.
Very delayed. Running straight to the setup as well. Didn't even realise there was a player just sat there that close to them. AVN gets a couple of frags there and shuts down the round and puts them into actually a pretty good position.
Yeah, a very well recovered round from them. If you think about, obviously starting the round off, they used the grenade towards Banana. The close Molotov stops any player from getting there. Use the second one just as the first one has about a second left or so. Then Adam couldn't instantly charge up either. And that double grenade towards Tree gets a kill as well. So very good use of it. And they're charging down mid with the MP9 here. AVN looking to stack his dollar bills on the other side of things. Oh, but not so much. Only gets the 1. Somehow this round did go down to a 2v2. It should be an easy win regardless, but the fact it somehow goes to 2v2 is a bit costly, but at the same time, it means you can upgrade to rifles without having to lose a weapon, I suppose. This will be the first test, though. First buy round for dizLown. All AKs, no AWPer into this one. AWPing on the T side of Inferno is quite difficult. Typically we just see Fraser go for it, but I imagine there's a set plan in mind here. Triple quad is the call from the get-go on the CT side. So obviously AVN, he used that Molotov towards the stairs in the apartments, meant that nobody can go there that quickly. He then allows himself to drop back without being heard, obviously. So they left Max towards Banana, but he's already given up the idea of holding it fully. Bear in mind, this is still 1 minute 15. Could be a very harsh situation. I was going to say for Link, he's going to be facing mid, no smoke on either side, no flash for him either. Just go straight into Impulse's orb.
Yeah, walks into it. It's taken down. Bear in mind though, that is all the smoke's gone from the Endpoint camp. There's 55 seconds still left on the clock. Max just used his towards banana, so he's got a little bit more time left before that does begin to fade. Wants to reposition off the back of it and gets up towards the site. Spots out a player. It's a bit of a tag off on towards Adam. 91-30. The walk comes in towards the site. Pulse on the wide swing. Does a very effective job of getting himself an absolute massacre there, Ben. And they have all gone down. It's just up to Cray now with 30 seconds left on the clock to make an absolute hero play. It seems unlikely.
Yeah, you can see the synergy between Pulse and Max there. Pulse, he obviously gets that first kill on the opening, and then from there he knows, you can see Max slowly moving across the first orange sort of area. As soon as he says, I'm going to swing, they both peek at the same time. It's basically impossible to actually get both kills there. And a very smooth buy round, all things considered. I mean, they didn't lose anybody. So, 4-0. It's going to be pistol armor buy from dizLown. A lot of grenades. However, 3 HEs spread across the map, it looks like. Endpoint gets another opening pick. So they're trying to disrupt this banana control that Endpoint keep doing as much as possible. With that one smoke at the top, and hopefully you get somebody towards the cubby before that second one comes in, and try and trade it off. However, it seems it's a very risky move, obviously. Flash from Pulse comes in, blinds everyone, but they did manage to fall back. So this round will be very, very reliant on getting picks, but you got to think it's CZ's, Tech 9. It's not exactly long-range pick material, if I'm honest. Even more so worrying when the bomb is, bottom T stairs. Even if you get a kill and get into a site, you've got another 15 seconds probably till the bomb gets there.
Yeah.
However, a gap has been found towards Arch, but I think Impulse has got that angle covered. Unless Cray jumps across in that meantime. Looks like it'll be a plan towards the A site. Oh, the timing. One of them's already got crossed, but I don't think he'll be able to tell until now. Thomas thankfully was watching towards it. Another clean round for Endpoint. 5 alive, 5-0. Money's already building. See, 4 players approaching $10,000 there. Looking very good on the CT side.
It is. Things are going well so far for Endpoint. Inferno's definitely a map that they look better on after we saw the changes with the 2 new Serbian players coming into effect, but that was early doors. That was definitely the honeymoon period as well. Still going quite nicely for them. Picking up the first 5 rounds is a good spot to be in, but can they build from this? Aggression down towards mid. The barrel sticking out. Fraser pass out the flashbang, tries to get himself in a bit of a better position. It's not actually working out too well here. Mezzi goes down. They're still trapped towards T-steps as well. Full banana control has been taken by Max and co as they push their way down. This has been rough so far for dizLown.
Yeah, so I mentioned the early banana thing from dizLown was trying to disrupt the way they took the banana control on the Endpoint side, right? But this round, Endpoint decided, we're not going to do it the same this time. We'll move further down, we'll push actually and face it. And Mezzi, unfortunately, was the bearer of that bad gift in the form of his own head being ripped off. So you can see some sort of call being made there. That's right as also if there was an Aps burst, he would be delaying it very much so. This smoke will come through, but you can already see Pulse is already towards Archer. Molotov should be enough to disrupt it long enough, and I think he's going to peek straight through it. All he needs really is a flashbang to do so.
Push comes around. Impulse misses the first flick with the AWP, tries to get the adjustment off. It's not really working out well for him, but luckily his teammates are being able to do the majority of the damage. Fraser is the only one to punish Ben, but he's doing exactly that. Everyone is being thwarted by his AWPing skills right now, but luckily Impulse will be able to get that frag off and take him down. There was a slight awkward miss there from Fraser, who would have connected the shot. It could have got really awkward. Instead, Endpoint do find themselves with a 6th round in the bank.
6-0, and they actually got a second AWP there as well. So it's now hit the amount of rounds though. You've got full loss bonus. You kind of feel like you need to get some rounds on the board. Let's try and go for something a bit quicker is my mind, or my thought process at least here. 4 players going up second mid. So Madden will use the regular grenades towards banana. I think he's hoping to be able to flash them out of apps. Oh, actually they moved towards mid instead. The scary bit is, the longer they are waiting there, the less likely they are to be able to catch this A site with only 2 players there. They have no idea there are only 2. but they might be able to find out if they get in fast enough, yeah. So one of the smokes landing on this execute. Thomas with that smoke though, it's very difficult from the T side of things to be able to actually look over towards that side. The fact that just one person spamming through a smoke causes everybody to look at it instead of trusting it's just spam.
Yeah.
The flash has to come. Straight into the side and then
Ooh. Impulse. They look a little bit windy with the AWP today, Ben. The shots have been blown away. Thomas, luckily, however, can just absolutely maul them. I think he's the only survivor, incredibly close to death. Max should know that he's low, goes to pre-fire round, that'll be the kill. And the AWP saved as well, as Endpoint bring themselves up to round 7.
So 7-0, you've got 3 players that are 0-7 right now on dizLown, which is kind of crazy.
That is rough. It's really literally just Fraser and Link that have found anything.
And I think they've played like, what, 3 full buy rounds? Round 4, and then they went 6-7, didn't they? So you've had 3 buy rounds that were full enough. 1 half buy, obviously. They decided this is the mark where we need to actually talk about things. Adam's already initiated that this won't be a full buy. He's going for the pistol armor grenades. The question is, what can they do differently? Obviously, banana control seems to be a definite no-no, unless you decide to let them use their grenades and go in 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
In which case, you're already giving up all that control to start off with. But you're also losing picks to the other side of the map, is the issue. So again, the 3 players towards banana, Thomas losing the smoke towards the bottom. Pulse will peek it. Gets the kill, and that's banana control achieved already, and get a kill with it. On the other side of things, AVN's managed to get himself boosted onto the porch and further onto the balcony. So if you were to face towards Boiler, although if Cray decides to go for an absolutely crazy play, he might be able to catch him off just in time. But Thomas is here now. They all walk into a separate line of fire.
Yeah, the death squad will find a killer piece, and it's all up to Mezzy. This basically guarantees it will be that 8th round secured no matter what. Still got a minute on the clock. Mezzy goes for the wide swing out, but it just isn't meant to be. But these rounds are looking very, very smooth from Endpoint thus far. They've already won the half.
Max still hasn't died either. It's been a very low death, or low kill amount as well from the dizLown side. Obviously, we mentioned it already. Fraser and Link, the only players who have kills yet. Only 2 players towards banana this time though. So the ordinary 3 players taking control now changed. And this is one of the few rounds as well where... Actually, I was going to say Adam's going to have support, but he's not really got the support here. And then towards the cubby come in, Adam taking a lot of damage to the Molotov. He gets to smoke himself out. Pulse can still peek behind that though, is the issue. I think he keeps seeing his gun barrel every time as well.
Ooh, timing.
So Max was already long gone as well there. So
Yeah.
Pulse being a very experienced player, he knows he doesn't have to be holding that angle for too long. But if you're dedicating 4 players towards A, at this point you kind of need to get some information. So flash peek comes in, Max clears mid, sees nobody there, he's trying to rotate all the way back to B. So a nice little bit of information, they understand we have to do something on this site. We've got 4 players here. Pulse has been pushed back all the way over there. And even now, Impulse making sure they keep that control. But he knows, he's watching mid, he knows there's nothing actually out. That was just smoke quad side, nothing else. They just can't seem to get into this game at all, dizLown.
No.
It's so one-sided.
It's just not working for them right now. Looking very stagnant. There's no confidence there on a lot of the players as well. They need one big round that's going to try and get them reinvigorated if they need to start to find their way back into this. Luckily, they catch Max off guard. Pulse as well gives them the potential to actually find their way in towards the site. He misses that shot then, and this is going to get them a little bit more fired up. Still a 3 versus 4, but they're being tagged down. Fraser's on 12 HP, Link brought down to a minuscule 40 now as well. There's 3 flashes left between all of the players on the Endpoint side, and they're just spamming into the smoke.
Yeah, you mentioned the flashes. Nothing else though. No smoke, no HE, no molly. Which means you have to be pushing into these sites. But time is ticking away though, 15 to 20 seconds. I don't think Endpoint plan to even try and retake this properly. They're trying to make sure they take all the weapons from them, which is a very good move to make because you can see the difference in money. It's very significant right now. They don't understand that, but it's slightly too late. They lost 2 players for it. And Thomas, if he actually survives through this war, he might be able to get another one.
Thomas is mental.
Oh, they have actually run away fully.
Yeah, they've sprinted into different parts there. They played it safe in the exit. They do actually get away. So they win the round, finally getting themselves an opener of some sort on the board. But that's still only 1 frag on Cray there. It's Lincoln Fraser that have still been doing the majority of the work in the previous round. So they're going to need to try and keep this up going forward. That round was won just off the back of the kills there onto Max and Pulse.
2 Molotovs being used from the get-go this time, as well as that smoke towards the bottom. So they don't really expect somebody to be close towards this cubby right now. Doubling towards T stairs actually getting him. Mezzy finally gets himself on the board, gets 1 but can't get the second, and no trade was there. Pulse gets 2. Surely he isn't able to get away from this. And somehow he is. So 3v4. Turn into now a 3v3 to use that peak for Impulse. A bit of a wild one. AVN needs to do something absolutely massive.
AVN playing it very carefully, very slowly, gets the first peek. As Link ran straight by him, he was able to get the flick up and get the elimination. Cray will get the bomb down though. Pulse has arrived on the scene, rotated back around, has support of Thomas in close proximity. They're both going up together. They expect the second player, they do. And Cray is the one to end his reign of terror there for the Reese Mars. That is going to be an 8-2 scoreline as dizLown get themselves 2 on the trot. The cash is still looking healthy though for Endpoint.
Yeah, the money is still there, as you mentioned. An AWP on Impulse once more. However, I think it's got to the point where dizLown, they're now expecting these occasional, not random, but these peaks coming in mid-round from players like Impulse at times, Thomas sometimes as well. Same banana control into him. That actually goes straight through them also this time to try and catch a player off guard. However, this is the first round that dizLown have not put a player in that close cubby when the banana controls come in. Which means they can instantly rotate Thomas off. They now understand we have banana control completely. We still have one of our smokes here. I think we've actually used both of them. So I'm not too sure where the second smoke would have been used. One of them would have been at the bottom. That's because Thomas didn't actually use his. Right. So he actually went towards banana but didn't use his smoke. Okay.
A minute still on the clock. Smoke's going to start to come in from the dizLown side to block off these angles, make it a little bit harder for Endpoint to actually defend the site as the push comes around. Impulse spawning it out. He's been jumping the gun quite a few times with his AWP here, but once again, it might have made a mistake for them. As the opener is there, they've been able to swarm their way around. They've got full brackets control. They can attack the site from every available angle. AVN needs to go big as they begin to push him. He's suppressed, held down, eventually goes for the flick up and finds himself a 2K. Actually bringing this back to put him into quite a good position. Admin gets the trade as Pulse goes down. He's got the bomb as well, and all the time in the world to sprint over towards that B bomb site. It's going to need to be a rapid rotate. Impulse just needs to go.
Yeah, he'll be arriving roughly as Adam gets in, I think, yeah. Although it'll be too late to hold the cross, from what I understand. Oh no, he's got there, actually. Adam went up the first orange's way. He stuck out. Oh. That's very unfortunate. If he's planted looking a different way, he doesn't stick out.
Instead, he gets a Snods arrow for the Valentine special right in the butt. There we go. There you go.
Why does Adam's butt sound like wood?
Little Snods for everyone. I don't know, maybe maybe he's got quite a flat butt.
Flat butt.
Flat butt.
Flat butt.
Flat butt. Not a fat butt.
No, not fat butt. Although it could be fat flat. Fat flat butt.
Let's get it.
So Impulse, that nade doesn't actually do anything.
Probably just charging up there. Ooh.
Yeah, he was charging fully.
Yeah.
Thankfully he did, because otherwise the nade would destroy him.
Yeah, it looked like he was ready to just give it.
So recognizing it's on Eco, Thomas now playing on the arch side with Impulse. dizLown should know the AWP has been primarily towards arch. If he's not towards arch, he's been peeking boiler. The question is, what is the long-term goal? This round end goal, right? Because even though it's an Eco, you still need to have a rough idea, like, what do we want to do then? The plan is probably to swarm arch as soon as he gets one shot off here. But Thomas should be able to save this. Oh, Peak has come through a bit early.
Oh!
So it doesn't matter. Oh no.
Do you think it's funny that there's Pulse and Impulse, but you could also read Impulse as I'm Pulse? So Pulse is like, no, I'm Pulse. And he goes, no, I'm Pulse.
And then Max goes, I'm Mighty Max.
They go, shut up, Max.
Yeah, it's a bit amusing, isn't it?
Yeah. What's your name? Pulse. Yeah, but what's your name? I'm Pulse. Sorry?
I am Pulse.
Yeah.
Instant message Pulse.
I am also Pulse.
So Adam again does the Molotov towards the top. The second Molotov comes in, he needs to use his own smoke. The spread should normally get towards that. If he would have smoked it, he would have given away that he's in the corner, which would have led to a double nade. However, him doing nothing, they assume, for the most part, it will be clear. And he actually gets a kill, doesn't he?
Well, Thomas is there to assist. And actually start pushing through. The Molotov did so much damage there. Oh.
Alright.
Bit of an awkward one.
Yeah. Trying to get out of there. Whacked in the back of the head.
Sorry.
My bad. 4v2 though. Still looking in Endpoint's favour. The flash hitting a non-existent corner, of course. And coming back at him. It looks like the contact play will most likely be on the cards. One flash is going to be used by Link, but doesn't appear to be anything. Easy kills, pulse by one, and then the other expected Thomas.
Yeah. What did you expect there? Looks like the form is starting to potentially come back into full swing here for Endpoint now. It's 11-2. They are beginning to pick up these rounds, and in reality, dizLown don't have anything to work with going into this. It's just the Deagles and the CZ. No armor, no utility, trying to keep that cash at least somewhat high for the last round of the half. Endpoint really should be locking down a 12th round here.
I'm starting to think top match of the week is Jinx.
Apparently. Well, obviously this one was the super-like of the week.
Yeah, different thing.
And dizLown just haven't shown up to the date.
The thing is, I think they're texting saying, "I know, I'm nearby. I know, I'm on my way.
I'm coming. I'll be there.
Trust me, I'll be there."
CT side, I'll be there.
That's what we're hoping for. Mezzy trying to make this work, but 1v2, no armor. As well as the bomb being down. But the bomb is down in a position where Max would not have seen it yet. Because he's on top of the actual cart. Or the little... Is it a car or is it a bike that's there? Or Vespa? Which one is it? It's a Vespa.
There's a little, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which one it was.
There's a little moped.
12-2. One buy round left for dizLown to actually maybe potentially get it to 12-3. And it's not like there's been one player standing out for them, really. Like, obviously, it took, what, 9 rounds for Adam and Mezzy to get on the scoreboard? The round before that was when Craig got there. On the other side of things, Endpoint got 4 players and like 14 plus kills. It's been very one-sided so far. So every now and then they have decided to mix it up a bit with how they do the grenades. Instead of just going for the double Molotov, they just decide, let's just double grenade down and just face through. But each time they've done it so far this game, there's been nobody there. Which is kind of unfortunate at the same time, because they're trying to catch them off. Technically. But at last, they get banana control, but they used up all their smokes for it, but they still have mols. So it's not the worst thing. Thing is, with dizLown here, they need to get brackets control. Ideally before they try and go towards banana. However, that opening kill can Impulse again. Kinda makes it difficult, but Link has actually traded it out. Thomas trades it straight back. It's an interesting way to peek an angle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit bold. Impulse just walking in as well with the aggression. Craig's just going to flick him down, Ben. All of a sudden, it's a 3 versus 3. 2 players towards the site. Max still lurks over towards B. Pulse has come over to assist Thomas, who's sitting in pit. Paranoid about the play coming around. Gets a heavy bit of damage off onto Mezzy, but no actual frags found. And Pulse walks straight in through the smoke. The confidence of this man. Absolutely giving it. As he is just taking them all on in the firefights, Ben. Max has arrived as well. He's got the flashbang. The flash is going to be casted out instantly. Fraser responds with one of his own. starts spamming into him, but couldn't actually get the elimination. Max will be able to flick around, get the headshot, give him a fresh haircut. And that is Endpoint denying any exciting things going on this summer.
I think that's a shut up bro clutch right there.
Shut up, bro.
Right there. 13-2 half though. It's so one-sided. It's unreal.
Absolutely giving it back.
But it's just, you know, Endpoint, they've been clearly the better side so far. I think that's fair to say, obviously. But Banana has been a key, you know, battle point, at least, for this map. Because banana control seems to be, you know, the thing that dizLown have probably had pretty much every game they've played in practical looks things. And when they don't have it, they don't really know, you know, what to fall back into, right? And it seems to be quite evident. I mean, 13-2. As you said, they need to show up on the CT side.
They really need to go big on the CT side here. They want something to work well. But we'll see how things develop, Ben. Straight into it though, Thomas. Hasn't gone too well for him. The opening frag comes through, Fraser puts him on his bottom towards Banana. But they're not giving up, they're still trying to fight for it. Pulse is going to go in, takes the charge as he gets right towards the top. They have one Molotov there on Impulse, a flashbang on Max. There's a ghost going to be thrown over. So that's two players once again that have no armor as well as they bound their way towards the site. Pulse opens it, gets the first elimination. Impulse also gets a kill. The Pulses are doing well.
Although having two Pulses go off that quickly could be something of a very high heart rate.
Something could be wrong with their heart, yeah.
Irregular, some would say.
Ooh. Well, the retake's going well. Link and Cray found a killer piece. Impulse needs to be very effective here. It's the two Serbians that remain in the clutch to try and save it for the side of Endpoint. And Impulse, paranoid about the player coming from the rear, flicks off. The man is directly in front of him. AVN, he just needs to push for it right now.
Very unfortunate the pistol round lost, really. I mean, Mezzi's made the play as much as he can. He knows he has to get. I have to just go on it. I hope that you cover me. But the plant being there, quite weird. Normally, obviously you want plant furnace, you have site control.
It's also exposed, peak banana, you can see it.
So, bit of a weird one, but I imagine Endpoint they'll be buying in next round. They've got some armor here though. So this is quite an interesting way of doing it, because you've had a few kills on a few players. Which means even when you lose if you lose this round, you can still buy next if you want to. That's a lovely grenade though. Second one, not so much. So Max flashing them through the mid smoke should lead to a wrap, in my mind. However, they've just double smoked that. Flash is still going to come through, they're going straight through it. And Cray, AA, delivers once more.
Yep, everyone is done for. Link, much more awkward firefight. Luckily, when he switches to his USP, he has that dead shot precision to hit the headshot onto Max. And that will bring the scoreline up to 13-4 as we see Endpoint finally getting their Kalashnikov buy-in.
Yeah, so I mentioned that it was a possibility. Doesn't mean you won't have many grenades, as we can see there. Just the one Molotov, 3 smokes. Not an ideal, you know, standpoint to go with, but potentially enough. Obviously, the AKs are very, very strong. And you're against 3 MP9s as well on the CT side, so that's, you know, I imagine they'll be quite aggressive in the way that they actually do just move around the map. Ooh. They've actually just charged straight through.
Yeah, they've all just run out for the face there. And it hasn't gone too well at all. The frags are coming in thick and fast. At this point, it is just Max and AVN that remain in this one. 1:20 on the clock. Cray defending towards the pit. As putting people down to an early grave. However, Max finds the first kill, goes to the bomb plant. They are just going to walk straight through the smoke, Max! It was a bold call. He tries to just sprint out of there. He's diving past the bullets.
He's nearly got out of that situation.
Yeah.
That's interesting, I guess. It was very bold to begin with. It was, plant on that side.
It's a wide plant. I mean, at least he gets the info instantly, but dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. It is a 5th round of the board for dizLown. They win with 3 MP9s alive. Well, I see 3 MP9s into the round, rather. So Max got the utility this time. 2 flashes and a smoke. grenade onto tree. Yeah, I was going to say that grenade on its own probably would have killed Avian. They hit them like 4 damage. So Banana, I imagine this is going to be a flash push on Banana. Mezzy flashed off. He can put the smoke down though. It's landed a bit close to him though. This is a very deep smoke. Makes the situation very awkward. Max got flash ready. She's going to flash them through it. Isn't even supposed to smoke or anything either. Somehow they're getting through and the CT smoke will be able to cover it as well. It's very all over the place.
It is. It is a bit. Mighty Max and Impulse. 2 Ts to try and lock this one down at this point. Oh, Adam in the elevated angle! Up top, the frags come back through. Max kills the first push there on towards Cray, but Link can trade it with the Org. That was messy as well, the boost.
No, that was Adam.
So many.
It wasn't messy.
Just the odd parts into the round, Ben. But dizLown, I mean, they bring it back slightly. They're getting there. They're chipping away.
I just like the thought, boost me. I got 4 bullets.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad, yeah.
Unlucky.
13-6 though. Endpoint have been very close in all these last 3 rounds or so. So you can see the CT economy hasn't been able to really build up as much as they would ideally like to think. So that's an interesting one to throw because he actually blocks the smoke and it lands there instead of being right at the bottom. However, you can see dizLown, they don't really, even think that the smoke is near enough towards the bottom to try and take it still. Instead, they'll just go for a HE. Decent damage. However, Mezzy was chancing it a bit with the jump spot right now. So we saw this on the CT side for Endpoint. When they had 4 players towards A, and they realised we lost the actual Banana control, we need to get some information somewhere else. Endpoint are trying to make sure that they don't even get a chance to get information. Smoke off arch side will keep the pressure on towards A still. Mezzy needs to be able to use his smoke early now. He needs to be able to do it, otherwise it's going to be too late. Here comes the execute, and it's going to be way too late. He hasn't even used the smoke yet. He's lost the sight. They're going to have to play retake for it. This is going to be most likely a 5v5 full retake.
Trying to go for the spam as well, but not even lining it up there. Couldn't actually get the shots out. They've been able to secure the site. The bomb is down before they've even got 5 players in close proximity to try and go for this one. Fraser takes damage, brings him down to just 76 HP. This is not looking ideal at all. The utility starts to get casted out. The Molotov come into effect. Everyone's peeking. dizLown making this look very easy on the retake. But they didn't know about AVN. The same position in play once more as he takes them all down. Ben, it's on Impulse. The Flickeroony with the AWP punishing the man in front of him. Fraser has to jump on the bomb. It's now or never. Grabs the AK, sprints up. Surely not another defuse in the smoke.
He got it! What? That was literally the last 0.1 seconds, if not less. What? I'm surprised he's gone for the Deagle spam first before taking the AK out. I thought he picked up an AK with no bullets.
He knew where it was planted as well, but he was just spamming on the far right side of coffins.
Very, very close round. I said they lost Banana control. It's going to be a 5v5 retake. But the 2 set Molotovs, well, I say set, one of them was straight from garden, straight to me box, but the other one over the top into dark as well. Forces all those players out. They win the firefights. But it's worth it. That was a 2v5 after they'd already retaken the site. It still somehow went down to a 1v1. A lot of damage being traded across the map there. Cray down to low as well. I imagine that was through the apartments being spammed. Nice little nade over the top as well. So a bit more of a stagnant situation here. There's no aggressive grenades really left on the CT side at Banana. No smoke, no HE, no Molotov either. Which means they can't really commit too much unless it's just a flash over the top and try and retake it. But in an ideal world, you don't try and do that, just because it's very risky. With all that utility being used, they've kind of required Fraser to be present nearby. However, if they were to Molotov this, second oranges, first oranges sort of area, it could be very bad news. Max going to be more something new box instead though. They need to win the firefights.
Thomas with the uppercut there onto the first man. Mezzy goes down. It's a bloodbath. Everyone's been slaughtered. A ton of aggression between either side on the early entry. The remaining players are Cray and Link. Looks like they may opt to just concede this one. Giving on over to Endpoint. The sheer rate at which they enter towards the bomb site there, fueled by confidence. Very effective round. That will be the 14th picked up. And at this point, they're not far off being able to close this one down and walk away with another Inferno victory under their belt then.
The crazier bit is we've had, what, 5 rounds in a row won by dizLown? Look at that many. It's just non-existent, really, considering the situation. But that just shows how many of these rounds were very one-sided, or rather, like, all these rounds were close compared to Endpoint's anti-egos, which were just 5-0 clean sweeps. So the fact that they saved these 2 guns is kind of rather big, because 14 rounds already. They now remember this game was awfully close. Well, awfully it wasn't close at all, rather. As in it was 13-2 half. You don't really have space to breathe on the CT side of things. See a bit of traffic in CT corner.
Yeah, a little bit. Bit awkward there.
So they actually haven't used any grenades with Banana to start off with here. So Cray was actually throwing a grenade from... Actually, I was going to say, yeah, match up right, that was a bit weird. So they're actually playing 3 towards Banana, but not on Banana, for like trying to get control there. Which means you're most likely playing for a retake. On the Banana, actual top Banana area. 2 mollies, oh, it's actually 3 mollies. They're covering all of Banana with them. It's a complete evacuation. Wow. I've personally never seen that before. To actually do set Molotovs to cover the entirety, top, middle, bottom, like the whole way. However, I think 1 Molotov smoke got rid of 2, which is a bit unlucky. Nice to see that though, I've never seen that before. So it might be the first time we see Endpoint trying to get onto this A site on an actual buy round as well.
Well, Link's open it up quite nicely. There's at least Pulse taken down. The reposition comes back around towards B. Adam, gonna hear this, drop the smoke instantly, divert back towards the site. Played close on the first oranges. There is a gap as well slightly. They're starting to push their way up. Looks like they are just gonna storm right through. In terms of rotation, Tony Mezzi that's close by. Adam luckily is able to delay ever so slightly, but Impulse hits the quick shot there, off on towards Mezzi. That makes it very awkward now for the retake. Although it's a 3 versus 3, it's still getting close towards the site. Impulse, the aggressive standpoint towards CT, taking the firefight towards them. Molotov's going to force back that position. He's just given so many opportunities, Ben. Molotov's only just gone down. Fired out a ridiculous rate of shots there. And it is all on Cray in a 1v2. AVN and Max holding it, waiting for the aggression to come their way. It's an easy 1 tap and a 15th round secured.
Yeah, you can see the crazy aggression from Impulse there. Like the confidence to be able to take these peaks. So I remember you mentioned on the first half, we saw him, you know, bite on the first peak sort of thing, right? And he was just doing the same thing, but on the T side. He just keeps on peeking over and over again. And even when he was in towards Dark, they saw him go there, obviously. And he kept on peeking, even though he didn't, you know, he doesn't have the knowledge of a molly, but he needs to be ready for it. So Link's got a Nova. I mean, he's playing apps, but I feel like Pulse wouldn't walk into this situation. He'd probably spam the corner or at least flash it or something. Or more likely than anything, you don't go into apps doing around where you don't know what guns they have. Yeah. Just at that risk.
It does look like he is just holding. However, it's as if that clock gets lower and lower and eventually he gets pulled into it. The Pulse, not the man that would tend to push into the apps unless he is just there looking to rip heads off. As he waits, the aggression's coming towards him. The shotgun isn't going to clear it. Fires off a little bit prematurely as well. He was scared, and Pulse is able to make full advantage of that.
So the smokes was out to land there. But he gets that kill. He actually just for the second, which I understand on a round like this, you kind of want to try and make as much impact as you can. But it probably wasn't needed in that situation. You stopped one of the kills. And Adam tries to make the same thing happen to the other side. It's a 4v3, now a 4v2. It's inevitable, really, unless Mezzi comes up with something absolutely crazy. Yeah, he's got a flash. I think we saw a round like this from Max before. We charged in and got 3 kills. However, it was before the 5-7 there, I believe.
Yeah, now the weapon's not as effective when you're mobile. Definitely isn't as crazy. But I'm going to be going down. Generally, they take this round every time. There shouldn't really be a reason why they do throw this one away, but that's one of the chances you can start it with. The early aggression with the pistol looking strong, but the trades are rapid. AVN and Impulse get a kill apiece. The Serbians will shut it down, and that is the victory there for Endpoint. 16-7 scoreline. Looking pretty darn good on Inferno, Ben.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it was one of the maps that they've played the most with these, well, these Serbians rather. And it kind of shows, really. You can see the difference in that they trust where they are on the map. It's more now, as I mentioned, one of the things I felt a bit weird was that Thomas was the player who gets rotated off the site.
Yeah.
Normally he was the player just in pit and you trust your arch player to do it instead. But instead they're deciding, right, we'll pair you guys up, we'll go as a trio. We'll see how that works, and it seems to be going well. The CT side was very strong.
Yeah, it's pretty effective. I suppose that, you know, it makes sense in terms of the synergy. Obviously, those three players will have more, and you can try and let the Serbian team do what they want in that sense and build from that. So it seems to be working quite nicely for Endpoint. Any improvement is necessary. You know, they were the team that were essentially knocked down to that #2 spot in the UK. If they were going to bring it back, seems like maybe the roster change could be a way to reinvigorate themselves. Maybe they might have started stagnating there.
Yeah, it's a nice change. I mean, it's interesting to see how it develops, obviously. I'd like to see where it is in a month's time, say. Because that's, you know, you're potentially still in that honeymoon period where you're still playing very, very well as a new 5.
Yeah.
You don't see the flaws in the potential lineup either yet. I'm just interested to see how it goes further along the season, if I'm honest.
Yeah, just a matter of wait and see there. But Endpoint locking it down at the end. Inferno, normally a little bit of a temperamental map for Endpoint at times, yes. I think is fair. Sometimes they can absolutely love it, whereas we do see them struggle as well. It has been very high highs and low lows for them on the map. So a good win to take. Yeah,
it's nice to see the banana, you know, control being shown properly there as well. I think that's like the perfect banana control throughout the entire map for them that we've seen in quite a while.
That looked way better. That was actually really nice to see. Everything was sort of coming together there between Pulse and Max. Obviously Thomas getting involved in key positions as well. Good teamwork towards banana. It was much like ours at LAN.
Didn't play.
No, didn't play the event. Spec the whole event. But we will see you with our last game of the night, of course. Game 4 is going to be coming up after the break. Enjoy the highlights here of Endpoint absolutely dominating, and we'll see you after the break.